Hey everyone, this is Polybius of Arcadia here again with another video for ya. I actually just wanted to talk to you guys about the Super Mario Brothers movie back in the 90s. Now, I know, y'all want to hate on this movie, I get it. It was kind of corny, but I really think that this movie is a whole lot better, so much better, in fact, if you don't go into it thinking it is a Mario Brothers movie. This is more of an intro to cyberpunk and film noir type of movie, if you ask me, which is a really strange concept for a Mario Brothers movie. But I think the casting is great. I think Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo play Italian plumbers from Brooklyn really well, despite John being Puerto Rican and Bob Hoskins being English. It's just hilarious that they play an Italian brothers as well as they do in this movie. Now, Dennis Hopper in this movie is insane. I think he steals the show as King Koopa. I really think that he wasn't phoning it in. Nobody was actually phoning it in this movie. I think he was awesome. He just steals the show. Besides the acting, the plot is really nothing you'd expect from a Mario movie besides, you know, Mario and Luigi save the princess, but there's a lot more in between that. It's not really a Mario movie other than that plot and a lot of clever references, actually, one of which I've noticed since watching this movie again. Mario's girlfriend, her name is Pauline, which is a pretty cool callback. I didn't notice that whenever I was a kid. So it's cool that they added stuff from that deep in the lore. Even back then, they could have just, you know, used Princess Toadstool or something. But yeah, it's actually pretty crazy concept for a movie, but you know, in my opinion though, it's a good thing because you can't really make a one-to-one Mario movie from, you know, the source material. Mario is an adventure game, so it makes sense that the movie is very action and adventure oriented, but everything else is just much different in terms of setting. That put many of us off who saw this as a kid. But I promise you, if you go into this watching with a different lens as an adult, I think you'll get more enjoyment out of the movie. The setting is awesome. The cyberpunk setting of the Koopa City is made with a lot of effort. It's not a mess of unconvincing CGI assets or, you know, computer effects. They actually use the set, and it's pretty convincing. And I think this is a lost art still to this day. You know, this is one of the last movies in the era of CGI and actual sets. But they did use CGI. I'll touch on that a little bit later. Yeah, I can't imagine this movie being like set in the Mushroom Kingdom, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. The Goombas, I want to touch on the Goombas real quick. I know a lot of people think that they look ugly, and you know, they're supposed to be, but what can you do with little Mushroom Man from the game? You know, they're brutish, they're dumb, and they're under Koopa's control, and I think the movie conveys that pretty well for their elaborate, goofy looking OC reimagination that they got. I think it works well for that. The atmosphere in the movie is really gritty and colorful at the same time. Like, it's a real low life situation in Koopa City, but Mario and Luigi's jumpsuits are really super colorful, and they use a lot of neon in the background. I think it's really cool. I think it's a juxtaposition that fits right in with the likes of other really great film noir movies that they pulled this from, like Blade Runner. While the use of CGI is limited, the special effects that they do use is both pretty tactful and impressive for its time. I admit the jokes are pretty corny, but honestly, I still think they're funny and more importantly memorable. You know, the Mario, Luigi, Mario scene is still really well known and referenced by anyone who's seen the film in the past. The jokes are really well timed too. There's a running joke with Koopa ordering a pizza and having issues with it throughout the movie, and it eventually gets a pretty funny payoff where you least expect it. So I think the movie gets a bad rap due to our perception of it when we saw it as kids, and honestly I think you should give it another rewatch. And if you want to watch it legally, your best bet is getting the DVD version on a place like Amazon if you live in North America, because this isn't on Blu-ray except for in the Europe region. You could import it if you want, but you'll need to make sure you have a Blu-ray player that can play imported movies. This isn't on streaming services anywhere. I'm not sure why. I'm not a big fan of streaming services anyway. I'd rather just have the physical copy and then rip it onto my computer. What can I say else about this movie? You know, the music score is really okay. It's nothing too memorable. They use it well in the movie though. Gets the job done. The history behind this movie's directors is actually crazy and turbulent. That at one point, an extra in the movie once claimed that hot coffee was poured on him because the director didn't like the extra's costume. I'm going to link a video in the description with the history of the direction of this movie. It's crazy. You guys should watch it. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. There's a lot of crazy stuff and a lot of funny stories that came out of this movie behind the scenes. But that's my opinion of Mario Brothers. This movie at its worst is fun bad. At its best, I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more.